Everyone, Christos here. Welcome to another day in my life. And today we're going to look at why strength is not the solution to movement quality, or which I believe is the difference between having ongoing chronic pain versus living life to the full. Back when I played competitive football, I was one of the very strong players who could hold people off the ball and barge people off the ball with little to no effort, which helped me a lot in my position as a centre midfielder. But what it didn't help me with was overcoming my chronic issues, which I believe would have been resolved if movement quality was part of my training. So what is movement quality? Well, movement quality is when all bones and joints of the body function as they should. When all of them function together, communicate well with each other to allow for good movement from head to toe and for more optimal functioning that allows for shared stress across the system. When there is shared stress across the system, not one area is being overloaded excessively, so the chance of discomfort reduces. Now, back when I was a football player, I did a lot of strengthening, I stretched, but this didn't improve my symptoms. And that's because I was strengthening on an already compromised system. If, like me, you have had injuries, surgeries, or there are certain habits that you utilize on a day-to-day basis, you are likely not using each and every joint in the system. And so some areas are going to be more stressed than others. We all have a way of moving that is unique to us based on our life history. And so strengthening on top of that is only loading more on top of this system that works a certain way, a way that is not optimal. So the body's pretty amazing. The body always negotiates with injuries in the system to form patterns that allow us to move forwards in space or do any activity we choose. But this new pattern is never going to be more optimal because we're always moving around our issues. Now, this leads to increased tension and compression in the system. So, as mentioned, strengthening is not going to help. As an example, you may have seen someone with a hip drop. I'm one of those people who live with a slight hip drop. Many practitioners will say this is because the glutes are weak. So let's strengthen the glutes and now we don't have a hip drop. But in reality, this doesn't make much difference because it's not that the muscle's weak, but that the body's moving around issues. For example, if the hip is dropped on one side and up on the other, the side it's up on is the side it's moved towards. Instead of thinking muscles are weak, think certain joints are doing more than others. This joint is now doing more, it's opening more. But let's say this body has suffered a left ankle injury. It's moved in this direction away from the injured side. So the muscles on the outside of the hip are working hard to slow down a pelvis that's moving in this direction. So instead of calling this muscle weak, it's actually working quite hard, but it looks weak because it's not achieving the action of leveling the pelvis. That's because the body is moving around a compromised system. an injury to this ankle has put the body in this position, and the body has to work and move in this position, not because the muscles are weak, but because it's compromised. So if we are to move forwards efficiently or function in any sport efficiently, it is important to strengthen. But strengthening is not going to help with movement quality until we help the body resolve the issues that are in the system. That means taking into account injury history, working with these previous injuries, getting those areas moving better, and then helping the body experience this movement that has been lost, helping it experience again with all the other motions that should be occurring in the body, to achieve a better functioning body. So strength is not going to lead to better movement quality. Better movement quality is going to lead to a better functioning body, and strength is going to complement that. I hope you have a lovely day, and if you've got any questions, just let me know. Thank you.